Hi, welcome to Everyone Can Jam. This is a place where everyone can learn to play guitar. And this is lesson 4 in our well-tempered work. I titled the YouTube lesson How to Make Everything Easier on Guitar because it does, but also because not everyone knows what well-tempered work is. But we're going to call it. It is our well-tempered work. And a few more lessons, and it's going to be a lot easier to explain why it works. So I'm just going to ask you to trust me for now, and if you have a lot of curiosity about the theory, you could try going to my YouTube lessons called Music Language Basics. That will make learning the theory easier. There's good basic information there that'll help you with anything in music. And I am beginning a series for guitar theory, and that's going to help us when we get to the point of really trying to understand why we're doing what we're doing in our well-tempered work. But I don't want, it takes time to learn those things, and I don't want that to stand in the way of us benefiting from doing these exercises. They're simple to do. It's easy to see that you're developing some dexterity. It's good practice and physically good exercises, but there's a lot more to it than that. And in a few more lessons, it's going to be easy to explain. We're using this book, The Well-Tempered Instrumentalist by Glenn M. Martin. If you're on guitar, if you want to buy the book, be sure and get the treble clef one, but don't be in a hurry to buy the book if you're a beginner. Let's see. More about the book later. Let's go ahead and do our exercises. I made 2 PDFs for today's lesson. If you are following along in the book, I think it's page 5 today. Again, you don't need the book yet. When you need the book, you'll know. Let's see. So there's 2 tablatures for today. But if you are following along in the book, what I'm going to do next, it corresponds with lesson number 2 on page 5. Okay? And right here, this is going to be really important when you become independent, where if you're not reading the notes, see where it says 171? That's going to be really helpful. And I'm going to explain. First, I'm going to show you the exercise. If we're starting on G, we'll play 1, 7, 1, and then we move up a 4th, and then we play 1, 7, 1. If you don't understand what it means, don't worry about that yet. Up a 4th, and then we're going to go up a 4th. Whoops. And this is on the tab. And when we go from string 3 to string 2, we're going to go a fret higher. And then from string 2 to string 1, we stay in the same fret. And then this note is the same as that note. And we play whatever exercise we're doing, we're going to play it down here too. Let me explain why we're calling this 171. This is a little bit of a theory lesson. If you've been watching the Gateway chords, you've seen this scale. You can see this scale on my Music Language Basics lessons too. Well, actually, you won't see the F scale on that, but it doesn't. We could look at any scale, but I'm going to sing the F scale for you. This is the F major scale. Do. And if I sing this, it would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it would keep on going if I wanted to. But if we're going to keep going, the note that we call 8, we might also call that 1. So if I sang 2 octaves, I could sing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. So if this note here, if we think of it as a 1, and we play 1, 7, 1. That's why the exercise today is called 1, 7, 1. It's as if we were playing these two notes, as if this scale could go down or up, and we're starting here. So in other words, this is, you don't have to worry about knowing the names of the notes yet. So now this is not an F, this is a G. A G scale would sound like this. And we're just playing a little piece of the G scale. And if the G scale went down, it would be like, and it would keep going, but we ran out of notes. And if you don't understand that, it's okay. You'll understand it soon. It's hard for me to avoid the temptation of explaining it, but I definitely know that if you don't understand it, it's okay. You'll understand it within a few lessons, and the important thing is to do the exercises. So let's do the PDF. Let's do this again, and then let's do the next exercise. The PDF for exercise, it's exercise number 2 on page 5, but you don't really need the book yet. I tell you here where it corresponds in the book, and we're going to do what I just played. We're going to do this exercise together. So, and I like to, the other thing is in the book, the exercises always start on C, but I like to start on G for now just because of the way the guitar is made. So this is a G note, and we're going to call this 1, 7, 1. And then we go up through our circle of fourths. Now we call this 1, 7, 1. And then we move up to the next string, same fret. 1, 7, 1. And then go up to the next string, same fret. From string 2 to 3, we'll have to go 1 fret higher. Next string, same fret. And you want to do this on your whole entire guitar for a lot of different reasons. We'll get into all those reasons later. Let's see, 1, 7, 1. Oh, I wanted to say if once you get the hang of it and it seems easy and it seems like, wow, do I really have to do the whole neck? Yes, you really have to do the whole neck, but when it starts to seem a little monotonous, then look at other things like your technique, your tone, your posture. For example, if we're right here on G again, you want to make sure, once you don't have to think too hard about the pattern and the exercise, make sure that you're fretting your notes as close to the fret as possible, and that will develop a good habit of playing cleanly and close to the fret. Whether you're flat picking or finger picking with your right hand, you can pay attention to the kind of sound you're getting depending on the way you're attacking the string. You always want to take a good look at your wrist. Having a nice straight wrist is really important. And for playing something this simple, you shouldn't have to ever throw your wrist out like that, okay? And you don't want it bent like that. You want to keep it as straight as you can. You will find that on the lower strings sometimes the shape of your wrist and your thumb especially might be different. This is just me, not necessarily you, but when I play my higher strings, I tend to like to have my thumb here behind the neck. And when I play my lower strings, a lot of times I like my thumb hanging over the top. And that's what works for me, but something different might be best for you. But just those are the kinds of things that, those small details will make a big difference in the long run. And if you're going to play the exercise all the way up the neck of your guitar, you can use that as a time to develop your technique and your awareness of your all those things that we just said. Let's look at the second PDF. This one corresponds. All these things, like these numbers, I'm just going to point them out. Some of you will already know what this means, and I'll explain it more in future lessons. But see how at the beginning of the exercise, it says 1712, 17121. Okay, once you understand the theory and you understand your guitar a little bit better, you'll be able to use this to know how to do the exercises, even if you don't read music very well. And oh, and by the way, if you are reading music, these exercises, they're not really intended to be played exactly as written. They're intended to kind of give you a leg up and get you started, and then you're transposing them throughout your whole guitar. So you're not always playing them exactly as written. You're just learning the pattern, and then you're playing it through the circle of fourths. So this corresponds with exercise number 3 on page 5. And see where I have 1712, 17121. First, let me just show you what it sounds like. I'm going to start on the G. Whoops, that wasn't very clean. Do that again. And that's just one thing that, it's doing for me right now. It's going to make me better at that. Let me explain the 1712, 17121. Last week we did 1, 2, 1, or we might have used these fingers. We'll talk about fingering in a minute. Last week, I think I showed you with these 2 fingers. We did 1, 2, 1. And earlier today, we did 1, 7, 1. So now we're combining those. Oh, and by the way, if you are an absolute beginner and this starts to be overwhelming, just stop and do the exercise we just did, and then come back and learn this next exercise later. It's really important that you learn to pace your work for your own pace. So we'll talk about fingering in a second. I'll use the most kind of standard fingering, but if your pinky's not working, I'll show you another one. If I'm going to use all 4 fingers, then each finger is assigned to a fret. This one doesn't get to do anything today, but this one, this one, this one, this one, this one are going to be working. 1, 2, 1, 7, 1, 2, 1, 7, 1. Oh wait, I did that backwards. Please forgive me. It was like, I'm not going to start this lesson over. 1, 7, 1, 2, 1, 7, 1, 2, 1. 1, 7, 1, 2, 1, 7, 1, 2, 1. And then you'll follow the circle of fourths, just like we did before. And there's enough on the PDF here to get you going through the whole circle of fourths. I want to spend the rest of our time talking about fingering. So that would be the most obvious. But if pinky's not working yet for you, and this is something that anyone might want to play, is these 2 fingers. So index, ring. Oh wait, I keep doing that. Sorry. 1, 7, 1, 2. You could just slide there with your index finger. And that's a way of doing the exercise without using pinky, and that is also something you will use eventually when you're playing other things. So if these lessons are helpful, please like and subscribe. And if you'd like to get the PDF, you can go in the description under this video, go to my website and sign up for my email list, and you'll get a link to my free instruction page where you can download PDFs, any of the PDFs for my YouTube lessons. So that's it for today. I'll see you again in about a week. Thanks for being there. Bye.